An analysis of Armenak Taçyıldız's neurological profile from the autism spectrum perspective. Person assessed, Armenak Taçyıldız. Date of evaluation, July 10th, 2025. Prepared by Gemini 2.5 Pro AI language model. 1. Introduction. This report aims to examine the data in the autobiographical and analytical text provided by Armenak Taçyıldız solely through the lens of patterns consistent with autism spectrum disorder, ASD. The analysis seeks to explain the subject's social interaction, cognitive style, and sensory experience profiles in line with the fundamental operating principles of an autistic mind. This report is not intended to provide a holistic diagnosis, but rather offers a thematic review focused only on the autistic components of the profile. This analysis is a qualitative inference based on textual data and does not carry clinical diagnostic value. 2. Social interaction and communication style, cost, control, and masking. Taçyıldız's social experiences show a clear alignment with the typical challenges and the complex coping strategies that conceal these challenges as seen in autistic individuals. Limited social energy. Social battery. Social interaction is a neurologically costly activity for him, even when enjoyable. The need for a long recharging period after a social activity demonstrates the cognitive fatigue created by processing social cues and conforming to social expectations. Preference for controlled environments. The clear numerical limits he sets for social groups and his preference for one-on-one meetings stem from the need to minimize the number of variables in a social setting, thereby increasing predictability and control. Solitude as the natural state. The happiness and feeling of returning to his nature he felt in a solitary cell prove that his fundamental and most comfortable state is one of solitude and a low-stimulus environment. This is not a deficiency, but a requirement for the optimal functioning of his nervous system. Social masking and concealing factors. Understanding Taçyıldız's core autistic social profile is difficult due to several powerful masking factors. Political identity as a role. His use of his political identity as a tool and a role to socialize is a classic masking technique developed by autistic individuals to adapt to social environments. This role provides a clear purpose and a set of rules for social interaction, replacing the need for intuitive social skills. The masking effect of intelligence. His very superior intelligence level serves as a natural mask. A high cognitive capacity allows him to intellectually analyze and learn social rules and human behaviors, rather than acquiring them intuitively. Advanced language skills and a broad vocabulary can cover potential difficulties in social communication, understanding subtext, conversational flexibility, etc., presenting a socially competent appearance to the outside world. The masking effect of ADHD. The co-occurring ADHD is the most confusing factor that obscures the autistic profile. The core autistic traits of resistance to change and need for sameness are hidden by ADHD's constant novelty-seeking and impulsivity. An outside observer would not suspect that an individual who constantly changes ideologies and identities, takes risks, and leads a chaotic life could have an underlying need for rigid order and routine. The social impulsivity of ADHD masks the tendency for social withdrawal of autism. 3. Cognitive style. The quest for system, rule, and rigidity. Taçyıldız's thought process is shaped by a deep need for systems, rules, and consistency to understand and manage the world. Deep and systematic special interests. His encyclopedic level of interest in dogs during his childhood is far beyond a typical hobby. It reflects the classic autistic special interest, a desire to learn a subject to its finest detail, classify data, and achieve absolute mastery over that system. His later intense interest in ideologies is a continuation of this pattern in the intellectual domain. Cognitive rigidity and rule adherence. His mind operates around rules that he perceives as rigid and immutable. Obsession with systemic integrity. A logical fallacy in a person's speech or a grammatical error in a text is, for him, a bug in the system, and this bug creates a discomfort that must be corrected. Intense anger towards rule violations. People walking in the wrong lane on a running track or a friend violating the rule of punctuality is not merely an annoyance, but a violation of a universal order. His disproportionate anger towards this violation is an externalization of the deep internal chaos created by the disruption of this order. The need for sequencing, the compulsion to follow steps in a rigid sequence even in a simple activity, like shopping, shows the inflexibility in his mental processes and his need for predictability. 4. Sensory experience profile, hypersensitivity. Taçyıldız's interaction with the world is filtered through a sensorily hypersensitive nervous system. Auditory hypersensitivity. This is his most prominent sensory characteristic. Examples such as being disturbed by a bus's radio despite listening to his own music with headphones show that sound can be not just a stimulus for him, but a physical invader. His angry reaction to unexpected sounds, laughter, a car horn, indicates that he experiences a sensory meltdown. Sensory satisfaction in enclosed spaces. The comfort and security he feels in narrow and cramped spaces is an escape from the uncontrolled and intense stimulus bombardment of open areas. These spaces serve a soothing and regulatory function for his nervous system. 5. Conclusion: the world of Apollo. Life as a quest for order. Viewed solely from the autism spectrum perspective, the portrait presented in Armenak Taçyıldız's text is remarkably consistent and powerful. This portrait depicts a mind dedicated to a quest for logic, system, rule, and consistency in a chaotic and unpredictable world. His political and philosophical journey is an effort to find a perfect and all-encompassing theory to explain the world. In this framework, his happiest and most productive moments are those in which he can withdraw from the chaos of the external world and establish his own internal order, such as in the solitary cell. His greatest suffering and anger outbursts occur when this delicate internal order is violated by the lawlessness, irrationality, or sensory aggression of the outside world. This is the lifelong story of a struggle to build and protect the world of Apollo.